Hey, how's it going, folks? Well, this is the first episode of Wrestling News Today from Heel by Nature. I know it's been a while since a lot of people have heard me say on YouTube, if you are listening to this on YouTube, but we're also going to be syndicating these shows on all the different podcasting apps, your Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, all of those podcasting apps as well. This is going to be something we're going to try to do daily with all the biggest wrestling news of the day. As always, heelbynature.com will have the most up-to-date news, but you can also head over to wrestlingnewstoday.com and you can see what we're up to when it comes to this right here, the daily news show where we go over the biggest wrestling stories of the day. This will be syndicated on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting apps. One of the bigger stories of the weekend was obviously Wrestle Kingdom 15, Kota Ibushi getting that IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship. Coming out of that, he did also defeat Jay White on day 2 of Wrestle Kingdom 15. And on the front page of heelbynature.com, there's a few stories there in regards to what's next. And Jay White himself says he's done with New Japan Pro Wrestling after New Year's Dash. He stated, I go through all of that for what? You don't even have to be the tiniest bit of respect, the tiniest bit of empathy to where you would think to help someone in need. I will never be appreciated like I should be. I see it now. I'm out here in Japan wasting my life away for what? During a global pandemic. I'm not going to do this anymore. If this is all it's for, I'm not going to do it. If they want to make me show up tomorrow, I'll show up tomorrow if you want me to. But after that, that's it. I'm done. So New Year's Dash, I guess we'll just have to wait and see exactly what goes on with that, with the future of Jay White. And Kota Ibushi himself now is looking to unify the top titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He wants to unify the Heavyweight Championship as well as the Intercontinental Championship. So I guess we'll just see exactly how that one plays out, if the company will unify those titles. Going on to WWE here, big news coming out of them is the fact that they had Raw Legends Night and Goldberg returning to WWE. It's been quite some time since we've seen Goldberg inside of a ring. As you do remember, WrestleMania 36, Goldberg had his match, then he left. He was recently, I guess about a month or so ago, he was on WWE's The Bump, and he basically put out a challenge to Roman Reigns, saying he does have unfinished business with the Universal Champion. But last night, Legends Night, at the end of the program, we did see Bill Goldberg challenge Drew McIntyre for a match at the Royal Rumble. The big question now is, what's going to happen here? We do know that Goldberg does have a contract that runs through 2023. 4 matches remaining on his deal, so he can have 2 matches this year, and then 2 matches next year, and I guess they could re-sign or have 1 match this year, 1 match next year. I guess we'll see exactly how that one does pan out, but the big question is whether or not Goldberg wins this WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, then defends it at WrestleMania, or if he doesn't win it and then goes on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which is something that has been speculated for quite some time, especially after the two weren't able to have that match at WrestleMania 36. I guess we'll see exactly how this one does play out, but Goldberg back in the mix with WWE. Looks like he is going to have that match with Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. Whether or not he does win it, that is something that remains to be seen. Ring of Honor news. Few people have re-signed with the company, one being Bandito. He has re-signed with the company. He currently holds the World 6-Man Tag Team Championship alongside Ray Horace and Flamita. Hasn't worked a match since last February. Has signed a new deal with Ring of Honor. He was one of the bigger names Ring of Honor signed back in 2018, has signed a new deal. Also, ROH did announce that Mark Haskins has also re-signed with the company. He hasn't worked with Ring of Honor for quite some time due to the pandemic. He has been working with Rep Pro over in the UK, but both have re-signed with the company. It's going to be interesting to see here now that the news that Marty Scurll is gone from the company, what exactly is going to happen with Ring of Honor's top stars, if they're going to build it a little bit more. A lot of uncertainty also with Marty Scurll. ROH did part ways. It was a mutual thing, according to ROH, that they did part ways with Marty Scurll. We do all know about the allegations against Scurll. He basically admitted a lot of these things, saying it was consensual. ROH did part ways. What's next for Marty Scurll? That is a big question, whether or not somebody like WWE or AEW does even want to try to bring Marty Scurll in, especially after those allegations. So that is something that I guess we'll see in the future, whether or not Marty Scurll does resurrect himself in professional wrestling. There's been a lot of other wrestlers out there who have been a part of that speaking out movement who basically just disappeared, and we haven't heard anything from them since. So that is something now that we will have to, I guess, wait and see exactly how that one does pan out. And lastly here, before we get going on the inaugural episode, quick news every day. WWE did file several new trademarks, including the Witch, the Bridge, and Diamond Mine. So WWE's been filing, about over a dozen new trademarks on the 30th, and they were filed into the database on the 2nd and the 4th of the trademark office. This includes the Witch, Diamond Mine, the Bridge, New Woo, Ki Yu, the Coventer, Quan Tao, Kwao Lang, and Ji Lu. And they also filed separate characters in Chinese. Also, they filed trademarks for the Hand and then Shao, which means hand in Chinese. So it's interesting to see if this is going to be something to do with that ongoing storyline in NXT with Xia Li. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. New Year's Evil is going to be on Wednesday, so that is the next, I guess, big event from WWE NXT, and we can go over quickly on the match card there coming tomorrow night, which is Wednesday, with the New Year's Eve special with WWE. Let's go over the match card here real quick. Singles match for the NXT Championship, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. Then we have Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez in a last woman standing match. Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher in a fight pit match. And Santos Escobar versus Grand Metalik in a singles match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. That is NXT New Year's Evil. Tomorrow night we'll be back following the event for another edition of Wrestling News Today, powered by HeelByNature.com.